Hello, and how are you feeling? Welcome to Series 2, Episode 2 of Coaching from Not a Blue Tree with me, Gary Burns. There are many definitions of the word purpose, yet in the context of coaching and also mental well-being, we talk about purpose in the sense of having direction in life, undertaking actions which support that direction, and feeling positive about both the direction and the action. Purpose is important because when we have purpose, we tend to feel better about ourselves. There's a lot of research out there which shows that those with purpose feel happier, and those who are happy tend to report having purpose. And it kind of makes sense. If every day were the same, with no direction, no requirement to do anything other than the absolute basics for survival, we would soon feel out of sorts with the world and with ourselves. Mentally, our minds and therefore our bodies work better when there is clear direction and purpose. We're getting up today to do A, B, and C, which leads us on to the next steps and into the future. Crucially, though, it's not just about planning the steps to achieve purpose. We have to believe in what we're doing. In other words, it has to be meaningful to us. I'm getting up and doing this now because it's leading me to a point where I want to be. And I gain enjoyment, internal reward, because my actions are congruent with my plans, goals, and values. It's one of the reasons that when working with clients and talking about plans and goals, I repeatedly get people to think about an exciting and compelling future. If, when you make those plans and set those goals, you feel excited and motivated, you are far more likely to succeed, even if there are multiple barriers between you and where you want to be. It's also one of the reasons that it's important to have plans and goals that stretch as far as possible into the future. It's all very well being excited and motivated about today and tomorrow. What you really want, however, is a motivation that takes you through life. That never-ending desire to do and be more, to grow and develop, to lead a life which is meaningful to you. That sense of excitement and motivation is what helps you through the challenging and difficult times. That purpose, driven by well-formed plans and goals, is what gets our unconscious mind working. We know where we want to be and the reasons for wanting it, and our unconscious mind brings into our awareness the multiple routes to success, the opportunities to make it happen, a world full of options. Purpose is therefore the driver to our lives. It provides the motivation to get up each day and do more, be better, and be the people we want to be. One aspect of purpose that I think is important to clarify is whether we have to have some powerful purpose which drives us to change the world. Some do. Most of us, though, don't. So purpose can be present on a number of levels. As we survey our worlds, purpose can come from what we want to do to make our worlds a better place. It can come from how we want to make ourselves our very best version. Purpose can also come from understanding our values and striving to meet those values. Understand your strengths and use them. Focus on building positive emotions and use those positive emotions as a motivator. Whatever you do, it has to matter to you. It has to lead to better, whatever better is for you. And crucially, it has to lead to wins all round. If your purpose causes loss to others, it's time to rethink what your purpose is and how you can realise that purpose with gains all round. The whole point of purpose is that it forms our reasons and motivation for moving through life. And I go back to the point about whether purpose is about changing the world or about changing our world. Some people really are driven by a real sense of getting out there and making the world a better place. I think for a small minority, this is about effecting change on a global scale. And if this is you, get out there and do it. For many of us, our sense of purpose can impact on our life choices around work, family, relationships, and so on. I've met and worked with people who have a powerful sense of vocation, opting for careers which better the lives of others. I know people who pursued careers in senior management, determined to make a contribution not only to the furtherment of the business, but also to make it a great place to work. For some, it's about being the best partner or parent or friend. For many, it's simply about being a decent human being, looking out for us and ours. The list goes on. And I really don't think it matters how objectively big or small your purpose is. If it drives you, if it's a win-win all round, and it leads to better, to more, however you choose to define that, it's your purpose and it's valid. It gives you the direction, which gives life meaning, and that's what counts. And the importance of purpose really hit home for me during COVID. Life was suddenly turned upside down. All the things which give many of us purpose either stopped or were significantly different. Socials after work, sporting fixtures, family gatherings, holidays, days out all suddenly stopped. Work changed. Our interactions with friends, colleagues, family, our neighbours all changed. Shopping moved largely online. Even the supermarket shop became a different experience. My point is that all of those routine events which we used to plan and mark out our lives were suddenly gone, or at least very different. Life events such as going to university, getting married, buying a house, starting work or changing job were all delayed, changed or stopped. It is no wonder that so many of us found lockdowns and varying degrees of restrictions so difficult. And while for some COVID provided new challenges and new opportunities, new focus and therefore new purpose, that was definitely not the case for everyone. It certainly reinforced for me the value and power of purpose, from the small and seemingly insignificant to the world-changing purpose of a few. That sudden loss of direction, particularly when it's so out of our control, is for many anything from disconcerting to overwhelmingly depressing. You may be one of those people who has their life mapped out with goals and plans for now, tomorrow, next month, next year, and into a long and happy future. If this is you, you've got this, onwards and upwards. If, however, you're one of those people that thinks that life is okay and could be better, if you're one of those people drifting through life, if you like to go with the flow, if you feel that you have some sense of purpose and wonder, if you could have more, now is the time to take action. The question, though, is how you find out what your purpose actually is. You may find that you already have ideas, some may be quite vague in general, others very specific. It's worth spending time exploring them and seeing how you can turn them into something which gives you purpose. You may have no idea at all. In Series 1 of this podcast, I introduced 2 tools. In Episode 4, I talked about the Wheel of Life, and in Episode 5, I discussed values. While I'm not going to go into huge detail here, in summary, the Wheel of Life provides a way of assessing your level of satisfaction with 6 areas of life: career, family, relationships, personal growth and development, health and fitness, and renewal. Those levels of satisfaction can lead to thoughts and then plans and goals about how you want to improve those scores. Those plans and goals then give the direction, the purpose. You're now doing things because you want to improve your levels of satisfaction with life. Similarly, when thinking about values, if you learn how to elicit your values and then elicit them, you suddenly get to see which values are being met and which are not. Again, this leads to thoughts and then plans and goals. Once more, you give yourself purpose as you pursue those plans and goals. Pursuing emotions as a means to give yourself purpose is rarely successful and tends to be quite limited. How many times have you heard yourself and or others say that all they want is happiness? Emotions are fleeting and can be the response to events outside of our control. It's far better to pursue the actions which make us happy and let the emotion take care of itself. And why limit yourself to happiness? I don't know about you, and I do know that I want happiness, excitement, joy, love, anticipation, security, adventure, an endless list of emotions in my life. And my purpose comes from making sure that they all happen. How about you? A recurring theme, although not for everyone, is a desire to do good to help others. Remember, you may be the one who changes the world. Equally, you may be the one who changes the world for one or more others. This may happen through your career choices or how you behave and what action you take in your relationships and family life. It may equally happen through your hobbies and interests, how you care for yourself and those around you, or indeed what you do to recharge and create me time. There's a lot written about the power of selfless acts, big or small, and undertaking those selfless acts maybe what gives you purpose. Ultimately, it's down to you to decide where your purpose lies and how you make it happen. If it fulfills you, it's a win-win all round, and it gets you up in the mornings, go for it. You can still have time to go with the flow, to drift from time to time. Indeed, having time to be bored or at a loose end is good. There's lots of evidence that periods of boredom stimulates creativity, builds tolerance, and generally motivates us to fill the gaps. So just imagine you find your purpose or purposes. You know where you're going and where you want to be. Life becomes a journey in which you have reasons to get up and get going. You may be so driven that it fills every hour of every day. More likely, you find you have plans and goals which help you get through the ups and downs of life, because you know that you are moving towards something which is better and which is more. Something which means that you are differently. Your attention is on you and yours, on what you can achieve. And you know that you can do it, don't you?